Hey everyone, it's Book Crazy Katie. Today's video is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, chapters 12 through 14 reactions, and find me on social media at the following. Hey everyone, it's Book Crazy Katie, and today's video is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, chapter reactions for chapters 12 through 13. And that sounds like a question. Chapters 12 through 14. And I'm going to quickly go over it. I hope this one will be my shortest reaction so far, and I hope you guys enjoy. As you already know, I already finished the book a few weeks ago, and I am just finishing up my reactions. And so this is getting towards the end of the book. Things got really exciting at this point. You start to uncover some of the mystery, and I don't know if they've still mentioned the Sorcerer's Stone at all by name at this point. I know it was really far into the book, and I remember pointing it out to my boyfriend when they finally found out exactly what it was. I think it's around this time. It's either in this subset of chapters or in the next subset, which is the last one. But I think it was in this subset when they find out who Nicholas Flamel is finally, that they finally say what it is. And so I'm going to quickly tell you the names of each of the chapters real quick. Number 12 is called The Mirror of Erist, I think is how you say it. 13 is Nicholas Flamel. And then 14 is Norbert the Norwegian Dragon. Or the Norwegian Ridgeback is what it's called. I just wanted to change it because Norbert's a dragon. And let's get at it. So The Mirror of Erist opens with it being Christmas at Hogwarts, and pretty much there's Harry and the Weasleys. I'm sure there's a few other people, but those are the main people that I care about being in the chapter. Hermione went home for Christmas to spend with her family. However, Harry Potter is, receiving gifts, and I feel like realistically it's probably the first time he's had real Christmas gifts. He might have had some hand-me-downs of I think the book describes him getting hand-me-downs from his cousin Dudley, but that's not the same as actually having something well thought out for you. And I'm not knocking anybody that gives their kids their hand-me-downs for their kids and they really care about their kids, but Harry Potter wasn't cared about by his uncle and aunt and even his cousin. So for him, this is probably a very special Christmas. And I thought that it was really sweet that Mrs. Weasley had knitted Harry Potter a sweater, and I thought it was so cute how Ron hated his sweater. And I wish they would have kept that in the movie instead of having Ron put his sweater on so quickly, because Ron didn't want to put his sweater on in the book. I don't know why in the movie they made it that way, but I just thought it was really sweet. Harry Potter receives the Cloak of Invisibility, and you're not sure who gave it to him. I guess that it was most likely Dumbledore, and then Harry uses it to sneak around the halls at night. He does it once or twice by himself, and then he has Ron come with him because he discovers the Mirror of Erist, and it shows him his parents and other Potters, and then, or just other family members. And then he takes Ron to show him, and Ron sees something very different. Ron, I can't remember if he was captain of the Quidditch team or something where it showed that he had prestige, and Ron's whole thing was he felt kind of felt suffocated by his brothers because they were older than him and always getting attention before he did, so he wanted to stand out for something on his own. And the Mirror of Erist, and I have a hard time saying it if I'm even saying it right in the first place, pretty much shows people the things they want to see and what they most desire. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah, while Harry was out wandering the halls, his original intention was to go check out the restricted section at the library, and he starts off in there and he grabs a book, and the book just lets out this loud noise. And then there's, I believe it's Filch. Yeah. Filch is out checking the hallways, and Snape had asked him to let him know if anyone is going through the tongue-tied, through the restricted section of the library late at night. And so Harry Potter wanders off and goes and checks other things, and he comes into this room just to get away and hopefully not be detected by Snape and Filch at all. And that's where he discovers the Mirror of Erased. And I can't remember if it's in this chapter or the next chapter that Dumbledore has a nice little conversation about him and tells him how the mirror works. But pretty much Dumbledore warns him not to look into the mirror too much because it's gonna drive him insane or something, and just has a way of messing up people's stuff because it's showing them what they want the most and taking their values away from what they should be. And then in the Nicholas Flamel chapter, let me reread. I read these notes like right before I start filming, and then my brain, like as soon as I turn the camera on and there's this light flashing in my eyes, my brain just goes boop. And so I get really nervous too while filming these still. So the chapter titled Nicholas Flamel has the second Quidditch game where Harry is, where Professor Snape is refereeing, and the kids are worried that Snape is going to do something to Harry, and so Ron and Hermione are trying to pay attention to that and are ready to act just in case he tries anything. Dumbledore is there watching the game, and so the kids are just nervous about that the whole time. Meanwhile, we have Draco Malfoy, who is taunting both Neville and Ron is already nervous over what may or may not happen to Harry, that he finally snaps and just attacks Draco Malfoy. And I love the fact that Neville also stood up to Draco, and it was easily, hands down, probably one of my favorite moments in the book, and I was really happy that, I was really proud of Neville for standing up to Malfoy, and I can't wait to see what happens, like, in future books with the whole dynamic between them, and, like, can't wait to see Neville's character change, because I feel like he's going to be one that's quite likable and brave by the end of the series. And then, the kids come upon, and I can't remember if it was all three of them or two of them, but the kids come upon Snape and Quirrell having this conversation. This might be Harry came upon the thing, but Quirrell definitely has something to worry about, and Snape is definitely pressuring, blackmailing him into something, or it seems that way to the kids. And so, like, they think that Professor Snape is trying to get Quirrell to get Fluffy out of the way so they can get to whatever is hidden behind the trapdoor. And so they look, and so they're worried about that. And then they discover who Nicholas Flamel was. It turns out that Harry Potter had the that he's mentioned on Harry Potter's trading card from the Chocolate Frogs, and that it was there all along. And then once they find out that he was partner to Dumbledore, Hermione is able to find the book that he is mentioned in and find out a little bit more. But he basically made this like elixir of youth or something, and is the proud owner of the Philosopher's Stone, which they pretty much figure out is what is hidden behind the trapdoor. And they talk to Hagrid, who accidentally gives a little bit of information away. I talked about this in my last video, how Hagrid accidentally gives things away that he doesn't mean to, says stuff that he doesn't want to, and so the kids kind of figure out what's going on a little bit there. And then in Norbert the Norwegian Dragon, you have Hagrid ends up getting this egg that he wins, and he has this dragon, and he's really enamored with the dragon, and the kids are all worried, and dragons are an illegal magical item to have, and they're all worried about it. Plus, like, Norbert is young, and I think he, like, burned or somehow managed to make Ron sick and stuff, and then Malfoy followed the kids to Hagrid's and ends up seeing it, so they get worried that Malfoy is going to see it, but even before that, they knew that Hagrid needed to get rid of Norbert because hiding a dragon is just not going to be feasible, especially once it becomes a full-grown dragon. And so, I think they contacted Ron's eldest brother, and they wrote to him to see if he wanted to take the dragon, and him and some of his friends to see if they wanted to take the dragon off their hands, and they make a decision to do that, and they go and smuggle him off the tower. They use the Cloak of Invisibility for that. So Malfoy sneaks out at night and tries to follow them throughout the Hogwarts castle, and tries to get, or Gryffindor tower, and tries to get them caught, and instead he ends up getting caught, and he ends up receiving detention. And things would have been alright, but after they got rid of Norbert, they safely got him off the premises. Hermione and Harry forgot to grab the Cloak of Invisibility on their way home, and so they get snatched up and get in trouble too. And so I'm going to wait to talk to you guys about the last section. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked it, please thumbs up it. Feel free to leave comments. If you haven't subscribed, I'd highly appreciate it if you did. And if you want to receive notifications, please hit that bell icon. Ding ding. Alright, see you later.